So we're interested in the evolution of eukaryotic cells. These are the kinds of cells that make up humans, also all the other animals and plants. And there's also a whole bunch of unicellular eukaryotes. What's interesting about eukaryotes is that they're much bigger than bacteria or archaea, with prokaryotes. They're very interesting intracellular architecture. And so what we want to understand is how eukaryotes first arose about 2 billion years ago and how this internal architecture of the cell developed over time. So when I first joined NCBS, I had set up a lab doing something called synthetic biology, different from what I work on now. We were trying to build gene networks by putting together activators and inhibitors in bacteria. And I thought this was going to be a very quick project, and we had planned to actually build something called a synchronized oscillator, just as a test case. And it turned out that it was very hard, and it took a really long time, several years in fact to do. So when we finally ended up getting the thing to work, I think I was very, very proud of it, but it also taught me that perhaps this mathematical modeling approach to building circuits was not the right way. So in fact, after that, I completely changed what the lab does. I think the amazing thing about NCBS is really all the people that work here, my faculty colleagues, all the students and the people that I've gotten to meet and interact with and learn from over time. And I cannot begin to list the names of the people who had an impact on me, but certainly starting from the very early days, Madan being here and nucleating the work in physics, people like Upi and Shiv Shankar at the time, working with Jeetu Mayer, learning about cell biology. So really, it's the whole journey that I've had over here, learning biology, coming as an outsider, being given a lot of time and patience by people, and thriving in the excitement of doing research in this interdisciplinary field. So I think I can't pick a single moment, but it's the whole package. The field I'm working in, specifically this evolutionary cell biology, in fact, it isn't a very mature field, and we've actually had great fun in actually setting it up as a field, working with people around the world to identify what the central questions are and how one uses methods from experimental biology or theoretical physics to address these important questions. So it's a changing field, and what that means is there's always a learning curve. I keep having to read papers on things outside my domain, and it's as hard as it sounds, right? But it's nice to always have to keep on learning. And I think there's a lot more to do here. So I expect to be working on this for some time to come. So NCBS, I've always said, is unique in being a place that brought in physicists, people like me who were trained in physics, into a campus that was actually rooted in biology. This has a lot to do with the culture of interdisciplinary science at TIFR, which is our parent institution. TIFR was started by a physicist, but very early on it had a department of biological sciences, and out of that NCBS was created, right? So I think we've actually shown that work at this interface is possible. We have a very exciting sort of atmosphere and ecosystem over here where that work has been going on. Many groups now. We created the Simon Center, which brought together a whole bunch of us trained in physics and chemistry and engineering to work on biological problems. We created this Physics of Life program. There was a summer school for undergraduates. There's a graduate program now, which is in its second year, with Iranian students trained outside of biology. So I think NCBS has really shown an example that this is a thriving field. It's a place that students should really get into, and it's actually very, very exciting times for this interdisciplinary interface.